Hey Zwifters, Eric with Zwift Insider here. I've heard some complaints since Pack Dynamics 4.1 was released from riders who are saying that it now requires a lot more power to just stay in the bunch. I've heard riders say they were riding with Coco and it took 30 extra watts to sit in with Coco. Team time trials are a lot harder, things like that. So I wanted to show this illustration, riding with a bot, to show you how you can waste watts easily with Pack Dynamics 4.1, because I think that's what's happening to these riders. They're not used to having a sort of sticky draft. I'm calling it that, even though it's different than the old sticky draft. Anyway, here's the example. So I've got a rider set up here, the rider with the pink kit and the orange hat. This is a bot riding at 199 watts right now. They're set to 75 kilograms body weight, 175 centimeters height, just like the bots are set. So you can see I'm with Yumi up ahead. Yumi does 2.9 watts per kilo. My rider's sitting in right now at 199 watts, 2.7 watts per kilo, which is below what Yumi's doing. This is about the same as what this rider could have done before Pack Dynamics 4.1. I didn't test all the bots in the prior version of Pack Dynamics, so I'm not totally sure what they could have done, and it varies based on who's in the pack and how hard the pack is pushing. So just an approximation, but I would say this definitely is not a higher wattage requirement than what we used to have. But here's what you can see happen. I'm going to start bumping up the wattage that my rider's doing, and you're going to see that they don't actually move up in the pack, or if they do, they move up really slowly. So if I was at 199, now I'm at 223, so this is 24 extra watts. And you can see there's no discernible difference. I haven't started moving up in the pack at all. So this is how you can waste watts, is if you're just doing, say, 20, 30 extra watts sitting in the pack, you might get stuck there and you don't actually need to be putting out that power. You could be doing 20 or 30 fewer watts and be in the same place in the pack. Now, if I keep on bumping these watts up, eventually it'll take me towards the front. But even then, to go off the front, I'm going to have to be doing more watts. But you can see now, heck, I'm doing 40 more watts than I was before. And still, we're not moving up in the pack. In fact, the pack's strung out a little bit. So what does this mean for racing? What it means is you need to think a little bit differently, and you need to kind of test your power as you're riding and figure out how little you can do without dropping back in the pack. So whereas in the old versions of Pack Dynamics, you would have just ridden right through the riders with this extra power, you're not going to do that now. There's not as much churn in the pack for whatever reason, whatever the dynamics are that Zwift has set up. You just don't have that churn. So you might get stuck behind riders and you're putting out more watts than you need to be. You can see my rider's finally moving forward some. Here I'm doing 40 watts more than I was before. So I've just passed Yumi. I'm doing 3.2 watts per kilo. Yumi's doing 2.7. And I think I'll finally go off the front here eventually. But we'll see. But if I was to ease it back, if I was to pull it back, and this, you really have to do these kind of tests on a flat road because the little gradients throw stuff off. But if I was eased back and say I was just doing 20 watts more than that 199, I wouldn't have even gone off the front. I wouldn't have moved forward this much. I wouldn't have even noticed it unless I was thinking about conserving watts. So there's your tip for today, racers. Don't waste watts. It's easy to do in Pack Dynamics 4.1, but just ease up and do as few watts as possible to maintain the position you want in the group. And with that, I'll sign off. See you later.